Okay, we're learning Igeras Kodesh Yud Tet. It's related to some of the inyanim we're going to preface to understand Torah Yud properly. And this actually, by Shkacha Pratis, it's related to Moshe Rabbeinu. Today's the birthday in Yurtzeit. Okay, now, why are we talking about, why are we learning this is because this, in the Torah we have the three Madregas of Har Sadeh Bayit. We also have another three Madregas of Chacham, Tzaddik, and Navi. In the Torah it says the Tzaddik hu a Navi, he is the Navi. So Tzaddik is the Navi. What's the Navi? Moshe Rabbeinu is the Navi, because he was the highest prophet of all times. Okay. Now we're going to learn this piece about Moshe Rabbeinu's Hasaga, what level it got to, what's there in Nevuah. After we learn Torah Yud, after we learn Yud Tet in Igeras Kodesh, we're going to learn also Chaf Bet, which discuss the difference between a Chacham and a Navi. Okay? In different pieces. Tanya. Yeah. Chaf Bet talks about Chacham and Navi. Now to Yud Tet, okay? Oter or Kesalma, he spreads the light like a garment. Hashem spreads light like a garment, okay? Hine belukati Torah shel Arizal, in the Lukati Torah of the Arizal, Parsha Kitisa, Parsha Vayikra. Okay, in two different parshas it says, K'tiv, Ki hasagat Moshe Rabbeinu, the understanding of Moshe Rabbeinu, Lo hayta bebechinat pnimiyut de Chochma Ilah. It wasn't in the pnimius of Chochma Ilah, Hanikra Abba de Atzilus, which is the father of Atzilus, which is Chochma of Atzilus. V'kol shechem nesir de Keter shelamayla mimeno, and all the more so in Keter, which is higher than that, Hanikra Arichanpin, which is the lower level of Keter, Kiim. Okay, this is Moshe Rabbeinu's Hasaga got the following level. The Achoraim de Chochma Amelubeshet Bebina Hamitlabeshet Bezayin Sfiras Tachtonas Shenikra Za Sod HaTorah Vemishpashteshet Ad Sof Dalet Sfiras Tachtonas Shehen Nehi Malchus V'sham Haita Segoto Nevuato B'chines Pnimius Tanya B'chines Pnimius De Nehima. Okay, what did I just say? Okay, now we're going to say what that means. So we had Moshe Rabbeinu's understanding of his prophecy reached, okay, the Achoraim, the exterior part of Chochmah that gets enclosed in Bina, that gets enclosed in the seven spheros. Okay, so and in those seven spheros, he had an inner understanding of the lower part of Chochmah enclosed in Bina. In the lower seven spheros.
His emotional attributes, right?
Well, it's called Nehima of. He had the Pnimus Nehim of Atzilus, which is the exterior aspects of Abba that's enclosed in Bina, that's enclosed in Nehim.
Oh,
okay.
The lower part of Chochmah that's in Bina.
That goes to Bina, and that gets enclosed in this.
Say that again.
Okay, there's Abba, Ima, and then there's Zer Anpin, Malchus. Okay, so it's what it says. It says like this. It says the exterior aspects of Chochmah that get enclosed in Bina, which gets enclosed in the seven spheros. And in the seven spheros, you had an inner grasp of that. Okay, that's what it says in the Kitzur. Okay.
I don't understand.
We're going to explain what that means.
Isn't the seven spheres in
No, that gets enclosed in the seven spheres.
Aruch
Two
Anpin?
levels of
Aren't the
enclosure.
seven spheres in the Aruch Anpin? Yeah?
No.
Wait a minute.
Aruch
Abba
Anpin is a
Ima-
Keter.
Abba Ima.
Abba Ima, Zer Anpin, Nukva. So exterior Abba, into Bina, into Za, and Nukva.
But isn't the interior of Abba also connected to the exterior of Abba? Choraim of Abba?
What do you mean?
Because really we're saying, I don't understand. Okay, there's something called Abba, okay, whatever that is.
Yeah.
So there's Achoraim of Abba, whatever that is.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so this Achoraim of Abba is mitlabesh inside of Ima, whatever that means.
Yeah.
And this Ima is mitlabesh into the Zayin Tachtonot, whatever that means.
And he has the premius of that Zayin
Okay.
Tachtonot, yeah.
But again, he's only grasping this revealed thing in the form of the Zayin Tachtonim. Right?
Meaning whatever his nevuah was up to the Zayin Tachtonot.
What does that have to do with how far?
Oh, yeah, it's a good shiloh. It's a good shiloh. We're going to, at the end of this chapter, he somehow gives a person an understanding of his mind on what that means. Yeah.
Because Israel gave you this over in Parshas Tzfat with the Moshe Cordovero part is Rimonim somebody that is explaining the levushim of the soul of Ruchani, that is to the nefesh, ruach, and neshama, as bechinas itself.
Oh yeah, okay.
This is like just as itself is not the essence of something, but it's a reflection. I guess it's right. It's like imagine a screen, a projector, projecting with light onto the screen. So the light onto the screen, the face of the person is the screen, and the light is the tselem.
Right.
Coming from
tselem is form.
That tselem is an image.
Image.
It could be a shadow, But
it's true.
in this regard, he's trying to give you a little bit of more of a grasp on what this idea of a levush ruchani is to be understood.
There's a mimer in the Torah that talks about that. I forget where, but it explains that thing, the whole about the tselem. Okay, now aval l'mayla minihim lo hayta lo shum hasaga b'pnimius. Higher than Nehim, which is the Zayin Tachtonim, he didn't have any inner grasp. Ki b'chinat achorayim techochma amalubeshet bebina amalubeshet v'mitpashetet toch pnimiut denehim. Besod novlot chochma, the flow of chochma shel l'mayla Torah, shehi b'chinat za, that above Torah is the concept of Zera Anpin. Ki dichtiv v'ra'iti et achorai, that Hashem said, you saw my backside. V'panai lo yir'u, and my front side you didn't see. B'shar Navua Perak Aleph, and Shar Navua Perak Aleph. Okay. L'chora yesh la'afli. Seemingly, this is a wondrous thing. Hanin ne'amar v'lo kam navi od b'Yisrael k'Moshe. It says a prophet will never rise up like Moshe, which means Moshe was the highest prophet. Which means what? Bilam. It says higher. I don't know if it says higher. Isn't it? Same level, but in Klippa, I think.
At least on the same level.
No, Yaakov.
He wasn't.
Israel. Yaakov is lower, therefore he's higher.
Right. Yeah, I think that's the shot. That's the correct. That's the correct shot. Yeah. He was the highest within Israel.
What's the other category?
Yeah.
Is Israel and the
has nothing to do with
the 70 others. You have the highest prophet and the highest step down.
All right, show some sources, boys. Show some sources.
Where's your Koros?
What are we talking about?
Moshe Rabbeinu was the highest prophet.
Yes.
If you want to make a rep somebody, you're going to have to Koros.
Actually, okay.
I don't know.
So the question is, if Moshe Rabbeinu was the highest prophet, how did the Arizal understand higher levels than him? B'darash kama drush nimuchenet pnimus afilu b'sfiras madrigas rabot shelamayla mi chochma v'keter de'atzilus. He talked about higher levels in chochma and keter and atzilus. Talking about the tzimtzum, before the tzimtzum, radla, all this stuff, right? How did he do it if Moshe Rabbeinu is the highest? I said at the beginning, we're going to learn that next time. We're going to learn that after this. Yeah.
Moshe Rabbeinu knew those. He just didn't reveal it.
No, he couldn't grab. He could only grab up on the nehim of the chitzonis chochma of mislabash. He went higher than chochma, higher than keter, tzimtzum. Achinyan hu pashut muvan lakol. It's very simple. The answer. Sheyesh hefresh gadol ben asagat chochma emet kerashbi v'arizal. There's a difference between the understanding of the true wisdom, like Rabbi Shimon and Arizal, Sagat Chochma V'dat, which is understanding and knowing. Ben Hasagat Moshe Rabbeinu's Hasaga is his understanding. V'shar Nevim Ben Nevuah. They had prophecy. Their prophecies gave him understanding. Okay? V'amechuna B'katuv V'shem Re'iyah Mamish. In the Psukim it says they saw it. Okay, so Moshe Rabbeinu, he was able to see all those things, like actually seeing it. That's Nevuah. Okay, Rabbi Shimon and Arizal, they're able to grasp in their understanding those things, but they didn't have the prophecy, which means they didn't have the vision and the sight of those things. As it says, V're'ita techorai, you saw my backside, Ve'ara el Hashem, I appeared before Hashem. Hashem appeared before me. V'yar elav Hashem, V'af shezeu derech mashal, even though this is only a mashal. Okay, what's the difference between, Rabbi Shimon obviously saw stuff going on, but what's a mashal? So the mashal is that Moshe saw it, and then Rabbi Shimon and the Arizal, they understood it, and they had das in it. Ve'eno right ayin basar gash b'mamash. It's not really the seeing of your fleshly eye itself. It doesn't necessarily mean that. It's a mashal. Mikol makom nimshal tzarich liot doma lemashal. But the nimshal is similar to the mashal. The Kitargum, as the pasuk says, V'yar elav Hashem. Hashem appeared before him. What is the Kollel translated as? Ve'itgali aleh, that Hashem revealed himself to him. Shu b'chinat itgalut shenigle alav hanei alam baruch hu, which is, it became revealed, meaning Hashem that's concealed became revealed. B'chinat itgalut, in a state of revelation. Masha'ein ken b'hasagat chochmei emes. Not the case with those who grasp the true wisdom. Shalom niglei aleim havaya ne'alam baruch hu. Havaya, the hidden Havaya, was not revealed to them. In a way that, in a revelation. Like, okay, Rak shehem masigim ta'alumat chochma ne'alam. They were able to understand the depths of the hidden wisdom. Ve'mufla mihem, but it was wondrous for them, which means it was beyond them. I mean, they're able to grasp it, but that actual being in that experience in front of you was beyond them.
What's the difference? I don't understand the difference.
One of them is that Hashem appears before you. That's Nevuah. Hashem
the difference between the Ari and Moshe Rabbeinu is what?
Moshe Rabbeinu was that level of Hashem appeared before him, that as if he could see it.
Okay.
And then Moshe Rabbeinu and the Arizal and the Rashbi, they're able to use the Chokhmah Emes to understand those things in a derech of understanding, not in derech of sight.
But it says in the Zohar that Rabbi Shimon had a vision. Let's say he had a vision of Atik Yomin. Atik Yomin talks to him, and then Rabbi Shimon says, "Okay, mashma that this is Atik Yomin."
Yeah, so their vision could have been more. It's less of Hashem revealing. It's more a vision of the Chokhmah to understand it.
So then, what's the difference?
Let's see. He's going to get into it. So therefore, the sages say that a Chacham is better than a Navi. Because why? A Chacham could understand the whole situation in higher levels. I think in the Gemara, I don't know, it doesn't say this. It's in the Gemara, yeah. They could understand things much higher levels than what could be revealed down to the Nevi'im, because when it gets revealed down to the Nevi'im, it has to go down and reveal itself. But a Chacham could go higher to get grasping of higher understanding. The Nevi gets it from the experience of his prophecy. Only the lower levels were able to go down and reveal itself to the Nevi'im, which is Nehim, which is Netzachod Yisod Malchus. Shehen Hena Yodot Tamid, those always go down. V'mit Galot Mehamashpia La Mekabel, from the Mashpia, which is Hashem, to the Mekabel, which is the Navi. V'chirat Moichin, which what is that? What's coming down? It's Moichin V'chayut. It's intellect and life force. Then encloses up, that goes down and it reveals to the Navi down here. Okay, to the ones that know the true wisdom. Okay, yeah, the hidden wisdom. Yeah. Shanehim shel elyon, that the lower parts, the sign tachtonim of the higher sphera, they get enclosed in the tachton, lichioto, to give it life. Shehen hen kli hashpa, because that is the vessel of shefa. V'horedet achayut ma'elyon l'tachton, and the life force goes from the higher to the lower. Bechol ha'olamot, in all the worlds. V'amidrigot, in all the levels. L'chen hen hamit galot neviim, and these levels are revealed to the neviim. V'chinat itgalut mamish, an actual revelation. V'betochon melbash or habina. And inside of that revelation, the light of Bina is enclosed in it. Shehi b'chinat havanat halukut me'or ein sof baruch hu, which is the understanding of godliness of the Ein Sof. Ubetocha melubashim achoraim dechochma, and in that Bina, which is the grass, you have some type of grass in the Ein Sof. Within that Bina, we said that the achoraim dechochma is enclosed in that Bina. Shehi madrega shelamayla ma'aseichel va'avana belakut baruch hu, which is an understanding, which is a level beyond your understanding of godliness. To understand Hashem, kishem chokhma moreh al makor ha'seichel. Chokhma shows on the source of intellect. V'havana, and understanding. V'lechen amru b'zohar. Therefore, in the Zohar it says, Doraita mechokhma nafkat. The Torah comes from chokhma. Therefore, actually, the whole Torah is beyond the person's understanding. So why are we learning it all day?
Well, we obviously understand something.
No, because you could actually climb these levels within the Torah. You go deeper and deeper into it. You go from Bina to Chokhmah, and then what?
And then you're not smart anymore.
Yeah, it's true. Also, no, but even the ones we do understand really don't understand them, because they're just graspable to us. But when you go deeper into it, it says you go to the higher levels within the Torah that you're learning. Okay, now kitame mitzvos lo nitgalu. The reasons of the mitzvahs were not revealed. They're higher than your understanding, like in the book, the sefer called Derech Mitzvotecha, right? Everyone know that sefer? He basically explained, in that sefer, he brought a bunch of different mitzvahs. He brought for each mitzvah what it says in Nigle, and then what it says in Nistar and Kitfari, and then he explained it together. It's very, very cool sefer, yeah. So now he says about his sefer, it's a drop in the ocean of anything you understand. And in Tanya, it also says that Moshe Rabbeinu was in Gan Eden for 3,000 years, and he still has basically infinite levels to go to understand the mitzvahs, because they're so big, right? So therefore, they're not really revealed. We always have grasp of it, but there's always infinite levels. The Gam be'ezu makomam shnit galeh. Now, in some places, it was revealed. V'nifresh is a tam, and it tells you a certain reason why this mitzvah is like this and why this mitzvah is like that. Hamuvan lanu lechora einze tam hamuvan lanu levado tachli tam. The understanding that we have is not the ultimate reason. V'gvulo ela betocho melubash pnimiut v'talumat chokhma. Inside of that reason is enclosed the inner hidden aspect of chokhma. Shelamayla mi'aseichel, that's higher than seichel. V'havana, it's higher than your understanding. So that means all Torah that you do understand, within that is the Chokhmah, which Torah is sourced in, and Chokhmah in it of itself is beyond a person's understanding, and therefore the Torah is always in a state where it's beyond your understanding. Even though part of it is revealed to you, but don't think that's now you got it, because now you.
But surely, just the main reason for everything in Torah and was just to connect to Hashem. So you have this general reason. And everything else might be like a sub-reason.
Well, it's brought down in Derech Mitzvotecha. There's different madregas why you do the mitzvahs. The lowest reason is basically to be a good person, right? It's like, and then it's
to
be
follow the truth.
Like you see in the Rambam and stuff, it says to, and then his higher levels is called birurim, means refining yourself. Mm-hmm. The higher levels is yichudim, which like talks about Kabbalah, making unifications, and then the highest level is basically because Hashem said. That's it. Hashem said.
Yeah. Being an Eved Hashem.
Birurim is refined, and then yichudim, which is unifications, and then there's Hashem said. That's it. Unifications is where you're uniting with the aura of that mitzvah, and you're having like when let's say you're putting on tefillin, so it's shining down the moichin of gadlus, so you're connecting to that concept. There's obviously a lot of levels of how to do that. That's in the Sfarim of Arizal. He talks about how to do it.
So the highest level is like you get to the point where you're an Eved and you don't understand.
Yeah, that's what I'd say. Eved's the highest level. The highest level is when the ben turns into an Eved. What does that mean? It means now that you understand all the reasons, you understand all the reasons you get. So how does the ben turn to Evan?
Why is that the highest level?
Because the ben, he likes to be in the house of the Father. He understands everything. He's basking in the light, and then he says, "You know what? I'm just going to do whatever Hashem wants. If he wants me to roll around in the dirt, I'll do that."
The ben will also roll around in the dirt.
No, he won't. He won't do it.
Who says?
He won't do that.
Where does it say that?
It says it in Torah Hey Tinyana.
And
also the end of Samch Vav, it brings it down.
Nobody got higher than Abraham.
But the highest Madrega is when the Binyamin is the Ben, he turns
There's
into
no higher than what Abraham did with the Akedah, right? There's nothing higher than that. That's like the purest.
That's a very high form of that. Yeah, it's true because then that's a ben turning to Eved for sure. That's definitely.
But isn't the Eved the person who does things because he fears his master? The son does things because he loves his father.
Yeah, but also the Eved does it because his master said, and it's not putting his own seichel to it. It's like when you hire a cleaning lady, okay, and they say this, and then they think that they should do this instead of that because it's going to be better.
My father really meant that I should do this.
No, he's saying it's going to be better. It's going to be better for them, and then they do it, and then you're like, "Why'd you do that? I told you not to do that."
Right.
So that's when they're mixing the ben into the Eved. They think they're under kavana, but you want it like this and like this. So therefore, the highest form is basically the Eved doing it in order to make the master happy, and he's just doing it only for that, and he fulfills it fully like that.
Doesn't it imply
that
you absolutely trust that what God says is exactly the perfect right thing? You don't even have to question it.
Exactly, yeah.
But
it's more to that. It's like it says when you do something for your father because you love him more than you love yourself. That's the highest level of it when you do it like that.
Ben could still like question his father.
Yeah, the Ben understands a father's intentions, so he's trying to figure out the whole thing all the time, and he's always being like, oh, because this and that, and then it ends up blocking out the actual ultimate light that could come through by being an Eved.
No, it's the highest level. It's obviously very few people get to it.
Yeah,
so we don't have to worry about it.
No, you could do it. But what it says there in the Look to Moran over there, it says when the Ben turns into an Eved, so you're saying the Ben has such a high understanding and the Eved has a low understanding, but when the Ben turns into Eved, then the understanding goes beyond the Ben. Because now higher levels open up to the person because he's acting differently.
It's good that we know it exists.
No, you could do it. Come on.
Find out.
Okay, so now, that's why the whole thing is that you're saying that even though I understand Torah, but really the true Torah is from Chachma. Chachma is beyond my understanding. So then you can only grasp that level if you approach it like a Eved, not like a Ben. Because a Ben is only involved in the revealed levels, what's understood. So he's going to understand the intentions of Hashem and da-da-da-da. But if he just does it with Mesiras Nefesh, then he's going to connect to the Chachma and the Torah, and that's much higher level, okay? Surprise, surprise.
An Eved Hashem is a tzaddik.
No, an Eved is simple.
Yeah?
You just do what the king wants. You just do what the master wants.
Without Moshe Rabbeinu is called Eved Hashem. There's nobody it's not so simple to be an Eved Hashem.
Yes, it is. God says, "Do this," and you just put that before everything else.
but Rabbi, it's not a matter of not wanting to. It's like there's always endless more detail. You can do it as much as you can to the point that you know, but then the challenge is you got to learn more so that you can find there's more to cover. But then it never ends because
Yeah, but you know that you're learning more because Hashem said that you need to learn more, and therefore what it says you're going to do because Hashem said to do this, therefore you're going to do that. And when you do that, you can actually, because it says in that Torah, hey Tanya, it says basically that when a person reveals his emunah, then it creates converts. What does that mean? This part of your being that doesn't believe in Hashem, and when the emunah gets revealed, those parts transform into believing in Hashem. But there are certain parts of your being that are too far away to even transform, and those are called the tipa of Ishmael and Esav that's inside of you, the drops of Ishmael and Esav. Those can never get converted, so you have to get rid of them. So what do? You go in a state of an Eved, to be simple. You go completely simple, only Mesiras Nefesh, only doing what Hashem wants, and then slowly but surely those things go out of you. And then you could have das again. But without that, you can't. If you try to mix that into your das, it's going to be confusing. You're not going to know what to do.
I'm so confused.
Yeah.
You don't know the reason we do them, but when we do other mitzvahs, there has to be a certain amount of anarchias when you do them.
Yeah, well, every mitzvah has two things. Really, all the mitzvahs are chukim. But some of the mitzvahs also have understanding to them too.
Because we understand, we know the reason.
But it's not really the ultimate reason. That's the thing. Because really, all the mitzvahs are chukim. Just some things had some reason that we could grasp, but if you do it only for that, then you're only getting the exterior aspect of it. But the halacha is you have to do both. You have to say all the mitzvahs are because Hashem said, and then you have to have a kavana, because Hashem said you have to have a kavana in that specific thing.
If איך זה קשור לתורה ולוקטי מורן? What does it have to do with what we're learning tomorrow?
Because with this piece?
Yeah.
Because it says the Chacham hu Navi.
Okay.
That's what it has to do with.
Okay.
Well, I'll explain.
Is it that we have a problem with that kavana? That what happens is we do mitzvahs and we do them, but almost stunned. Just we do it because we're
almost by rote is to do the mitzvah because we've already incorporated that we're going to do that mitzvah.
But according to this is the high level.
The what? No, but not by rote. By rote is like you're kind of asleep when you're doing it, Yeah, because the servant that wants to serve the master, he has a lot of chayus, he has a lot of life force when he's doing it. He's doing it because he wants to make the master happy. So if you're just doing it by rote, you're like asleep, basically.
But are we kind of like every one of us has our own particular level we're at, having to do with machshavos?
Yeah, for sure. You have different levels. In Tanya, there's a chapter that talks about if you do the mitzvahs without any kavana, it's like a body without a soul. Okay, but when you do it with kavana, depends what kind of kavana you have. As we explained, if you do it with, you could go different levels with the kavana that you have. But now, when you have kavana, it has a soul. Okay.
So one of the ways maybe that when you do a mitzvah, whatever it is, you picture yourself actually doing it and see that you actually have an awareness.
If that helps, I guess it's good. If it helps, I guess it's good. Right?
The suitcase was passive, for instance.
Yeah, like sukkah.
How can we inject the clauses of a Kodesh, thou shalt not steal? I mean, it's a passive thing. How do you inject Kodesh Baruch Hu into that? I mean, jewelry store.
Well, the whole thing was no, because the reason why you shouldn't steal is not because it makes sense not to steal, because Hashem said not to steal. Like if you're working at a restaurant and there's leftover French fries thing, and you're like, okay, what's the deal? You take it. So maybe it's considered stealing, maybe it's not. But if you could basically justify certain gray areas. If it's Hashem said it, you're not going to justify the gray areas. You're going to find out the halacha.
If I buy a jewelry store, I don't pick up a brick and throw it in the window. If I would kind of mitzvah, thou shalt not steal.
I guess if you had a yetzer hara to do it.
It's not a mitzvah. It's a lo taseh. You're not stealing.
Lo taseh and those kind of things, you don't necessarily think about them, but what is happening? You get a mitzvah all the time. You didn't do it. You didn't do it. You didn't steal. You didn't steal. You didn't steal.
I didn't do it.
Okay, yeah, anyways. Okay, so now, so everything inside of the Torah, inside of it has the inner aspects of Chokhmah that's higher than a person's Seichel and Havana. V'chein b'chol dibur, and every word that came out mipi Kodesh Baruch Hu leNeviim from Hashem to the prophets, HaKtuvim b'Tanach that are written in the Tanakh, and divrei tocha and sipuri maisias melubeshes b'tocham b'chinat chokhmah elokut shelamayla mesechel v'havana. Whether they're words of reproof or stories, inside of it is the chokhmah, gali chokhmah that's higher than understanding. Kinei b'chush, like we see clearly, b'inyan hakri v'aktiv. Okay, now there's a concept called the way you read the letter and there's the way you write the letter. Most of the time it's the same thing, but sometimes you have the letter written differently than the way you pronounce it. Okay. So what does that mean? B'pnimius inyanim, hakri u'lefia havana. The way you read it is according with your understanding, and you get lano that's revealed to us. V'aktiv, but the way it's written, hu'lamala ma'aseichel v'havana, is higher than seichel and havana. Sheteva zu kiktiva ein la levush v'chinat havana. The way this word is written, that's different than the way you read it, is because that way it's written doesn't have a lavush to grasp it. So it has to be written differently than what it's read. But when you read it, it has a lavush. So too, you have large letters in the Tanakh and small letters, right? Shen me'alma ilah. The big letters, they're from a higher world. V'me'irot misham begilui. They shine from there with a revelation, bli lavush, without a lavush, kesharat otiyot, like the rest of the letters. Okay?
This is the first volume of Mr. Brewer, and he has the 6 constant mitzvahs.
Okay.
And the 6th one is, it says that thou shalt not stray after the desires of the heart and what the eye sees, as is stated in Bimidbar, and you shall not stray after your heart and your eyes. So we're doing that all the time. If we're protecting our thoughts and our eyes, then we're fulfilling the 6th constant mitzvah.
Yeah, correct.
So that would cover what you were asking about the jewelry and stuff.
Oh, I guess if you think about stealing, yeah. Can name us a dot. V'hine b'chinat chokhmah elokut.
There's an upper and lower case in Hebrew.
Well, there's larger letters in the Torah. Some letters are larger, and some letters are smaller, right? So that comes from a higher world. Okay. So the Chokhmah of Hashem, Hamilubeshe b'tareg mitzvahs, that enclosed in the 613 mitzvahs HaTorah, in the Torah, Nika b'shem b'chinat acharayim de Chokhmah. That is acharayim de Chokhmah, okay? Meaning the godly wisdom, the concept of Chokhmah, of godliness, that's enclosed in the Taryag mitzvahs of the Torah, that's acharayim of Chokhmah. Which means in Chokhmah, whatever is able to be enclosed in the Torah, that's acharayim of Chokhmah. Okay? Let's continue. Yikol acharayim shebesfirot hem madrigat chitzonis v'tachtonis b'ma'ala shebesfira zu. So what is the difference between a pnimi and acharayim of a sphira? The acharayim of the sphira is the lower exterior part.
That would be connected with Bina then? It's going lower.
That's why it could be enclosed in Bina, yeah. The higher part couldn't be enclosed in Bina. But the lower part of Chokhmah goes, it could go and spread forth below. Litlabesh beburuim, to enclose in the creations. L'chiotam, to give them life for us. V'chinat apanim, so the inner aspect of the sphira, hu a sphira atzma, is the sphira itself, hamiyuchedet v'ma'atzila, which is united with the emanator. Who's that? Hashem. Ein Sof Baruch Hu b'tachlit hayichud, with complete unity. Kegon, for example, derech mashal. Sphira to Chokhmah, the sphere of Chokhmah, shemiyuchedet b'ma'atzila. The sphere of Chokhmah is united with the emanator. Ein Sof Baruch Hu b'tachlit hayichud, with the complete unity. It says that Hashem and His wisdom are one, as it says above. Okay, chapter 2. V'ma shemeir v'mitpashet mechokhmato yitbarach lemata, and whatever shines forth and goes down below, b'tachtonim shehem ba'alei gvul, which we are people of limitations. V'tachlis v'mitlabesh behem nikra acharayim. Whatever gets enclosed downwards is called the acharayim of that sphira. V'nikra gamken b'chinet asiya shebatzilus, which is the concept of action within atzilus. Pirush al derech mashal. For example, k'mo sheba'adam atachton. So just like you have a person down here, sheyesh benishmato hey madregos, that has in his soul 5 levels. Zu l'matim, one below the other. Shem mechinat ha-seichel v'amidos v'machshava dibur ma'asev. Okay, 5 levels is seichel, intellect, emotions, thoughts, speech, and action. Those are the 5 levels you have inside of you. Okay, now I know what you're thinking. What's the difference between intellect and thought? So the answer is that intellect are before they come into your conscious mind. Thought is the conscious mind.
It's information that you don't have a grasp of yet, but it exists.
Yeah, it's in the state of.
Thoughts can be non-intellectual.
Yeah, but that's not the point. Here, what it's saying,
intellect in Hebrew,
seichel, and then there's machshava.
What was the first intellect? Is find thoughts, speech, and action, but the first
intellect and then midos.
4, right?
No, seichel, midos, machshava, dibur, ma'aseh.
Seichel, midos, machshava, dibur, ma'aseh.
5. Okay, so now v'ha'ma'aseh tichtonom shekulam. The action is the lowest of all of them. Yeah. Shachayot amit pashet mehaneshama, because the life force that gets spread in the soul, melubash bekoch ha'ma'aseh, and gets enclosed in the power of action. Hu ka'ayin is like nothing. Basically, if you compare, okay, the soul in its essence has all the powers inside of it, but the part of the soul that gets enclosed in action is like nothing in relation to the part of the soul that gets enclosed in speech, which is like nothing that in relation to the part of the soul that's in your thoughts, which is like nothing to the part of the soul that's in your midos, which is like nothing to the part of the soul that's in your seichel, intellect. Okay, so meaning they're infinitely distant from each other.
So when we say action is mounted?
I guess so, yeah.
So we're already like almost infinite ourselves.
Your soul is your soul has a spark of Hashem. Your soul has a spark of Hashem, which a spark is the same thing as the thing itself, but it became removed. But it's the same essence. So you actually have a piece of Hashem inside. Okay. Now, now, ken al derech zeh. So too in this way, hi bechinat chokhmato yitbarach, the wisdom of Hashem, mashu chol yitpashtet mimena, whatever could spread out from it, lehit labesh b'tachtonim, to enclose itself in the lower levels, kulam hem ka'en legabe bechinat panim hamiyuchad ba'atzil baruch hu. So everything that basically we know in existence after Atzilus is like nothing in relation to the pneumius of the sphere that's united with the Ein Sof. Okay, following me? And the shefa that's going down to the creations which are limited, the tachlit nichshevet yirida, it's considered like a descent and a tzimtzum and a contraction. Kavyochol legabei ha'matzil Ein Sof baruch hu, in relation to Hashem Himself. Al derech mashal, like we said, Kamo shenichshevet yirida v'tzimtzum l'seichel ha'adam hamaskil hamitzumtzam be'eza asil gashmis. Like, let's say you have a person that's very smart, and then now he has to do just a simple physical thing. So that's a tzimtzum for him to do that physical thing in relation to his intellect. Churmut mamish, that's very physical. Yeah. Lachen. Okay, this is the part of the punchline here. Shenatan. One second. Hold on. Yeah, Moshe Rabbeinu alav Shalom. Moshe Rabbeinu alav Shalom says, she'isig ad achoraim l'chochma. He was able to grasp until the achoraim of chochma. Zacha shetinaten al yado haTorah. He merited the Torah should be given through him. Shehi novlot chochma, which is the flow of chochma shelamayla, that's above. Pirush mashin novel mimena, whatever flows from it, v'yared lemata, and goes down, v'mitlabesh b'torah gash b'chelonu, and flows down into the physical Torah that we have. Sheikara v'tachlita hu kim mitzvahs lo taseh v'aseh, that the whole purpose of Torah is to fulfill the mitzvahs of aseh and lo taseh. B'pol v'maiseh mamish, in actuality, k'maimer hayom lasotam, today you shall do them. The Torah is so great that it brings to action. If someone learns and he doesn't do, it would have been better that he was turned over when he was in his mother's womb. Okay. Kol adam mukhrach litgalgel ad shekayem kol tereg mitzvahs befol mamish kenoda maharizal. Every person has to go and gilgal after gilgal until he fulfills all 613 mitzvahs. Now, the last paragraph of this piece is now going to explain Moshe Rabbeinu's nevuah. Okay. Otiot niglot lanu, the letters that are revealed to us, hen b'maisli v'machshava, are thought, speech, and action. Okay. Which means the letters in a person's seichel and midos are not revealed to you. You don't know those letters. You have the letters in your thoughts, speech, and action. You know what's going on there. Okay, the maise. Okay, now we're going to explain what these things are. Okay, there are letters that are revealed to us in action, speech, and thought. Listen closely now. This one's a little tricky. The maise hen tmunot otiot shebechtav ashrei b'sefer Torah. The action of the letters, which means the actual letters written in the Sefer Torah. That's the maisa of the letters, yeah, because they're written. Otiot dibur. Now the letters of speech. Nichakekot behevel vekol hamitchalek lekaf beit chalakim shonim ze mize betzuratan. So basically, the speech of the letters, when you say the letters, when you read the Torah, shehi havarat v'meter kaf beit otiot b'chol lashon, which is the pronouncing of the 22 letters in any language. That's the speech of the letters. There's no essential difference between the pronunciation of the letters in Lashon Kodesh or any other language. The only difference is the way you combine the letters, which means they have the same sounds. The combinations make a difference. Votiyot machshava, the letters of thought, and gamka b'chol lashon, they're also in every language. Sh'adam mechashev, that a person's thinking tevot votiyot halashon shehen kaf bet levad. He's thinking the letters in the language that he's speaking, which is also only 22 letters. Okay, English has 26 letters. Okay, fine. We're talking about the source of all the letters in the 22 letters of the alphabet. Therefore, everything exists from those letters. Okay, and you can actually have all the other sounds through those letters. Okay. Rak shebamachshava yesh ba gimel minei b'china otiyot.
I mean, no.
What sound can you not have from Hebrew alphabet?
J.
Gimel with the chupchik is
yeah, but gimel.
But according to
they made the chupchik.
According to the original pronunciation, a gimel is a j. Like in that book, Samir Cohen. What?
Ch.
There's a mistake though. All the time many things are more accurate than us, but except for the gimel.
I don't know. I saw in Zamir Cohen's book when people would say the letters and they'd have a screen that the waves would come up and they all be the same letter as that. And then he said Gimel, it didn't look like it. And then he said Gimel, and then it looked like it. He says that in his book. Yeah, maybe. Okay, fine. You can research that. You read a research paper on that one. Okay. Jamal, yeah. Yeah.
There has to be a similar like so it's
okay, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That you guys can write research papers on. The point of here is not that. Okay, Raksh. Now in Machshava, you also have another 3 levels of letters. Okay, which means we say we have 3 levels, which is writing letters, speaking letters, thinking about letters. Okay, now in thought you have 3 levels. Okay, what are they? Sharei keshiroeh b'sefer Torah tmunot otiyot hen mitzterot machshavato. When you see the letters on the Torah, they now form in your brain that image. That is called asiyah sheb'machshava, the action within your thought. Seeing the letters creates action within your thought. Okay. V'chen kasher shomea otiyot adibor. When you hear someone speaking letters of Torah, hen nishamot machshavto, they also get engraved or impressed onto your thought. And you think about them. This is speech within thought, which is the level of Yetzirah.
When you're saying the word and you think about the letter, that's what you're saying?
Well, yeah, when someone's saying it, and then you're thinking about that person saying it,
and I see the letters,
you're thinking about that person saying those letters, so you're thinking about those letters, that is the speech.
Thinking about the letters or the person?
Thinking about what the person said. So that means you're
so see the letters?
No, you're basically you're imagining the speech.
Imagining the speech.
You're thinking about someone said something.
Okay.
That's the Yetzirah within the Machshava. Okay.
Yetzirah within the Machshava.
Okay. Now the letters in the Machshava by themselves, without thinking about the letters of speech, is called Machshava, which basically ideas. Just ideas is Bria.
The letters in the what?
The letters by themselves in your thought, without thinking about someone saying them, that's called Machshava, which is Bria. Basically just ideas. You just think about ideas. Now, but there's actually, you could actually think about yourself saying them over to yourself, which is also Dibor Sheva Machshava, but this is just the idea in and of itself.
So far we have Yetzirah Sheva Machshava.
We have Asiyah, is seeing it in your brain. Mind, like looking at the letters in your brain, looking at the Torah.
And then just said that's Bria.
No, looking at the letters, the sight is the Asiyah of Machshava. The hearing is the Yetzirah Machshava, and the idea itself is the Bria of Machshava.
What's the difference between the idea and looking?
Looking is actually you're imagining letters. You look at letters on the Sefer Torah.
No.
The idea itself, there's no letters. You're not thinking about letters, you're thinking about the idea itself.
What's the difference between the letter and the idea of the letter?
You're thinking about Aleph, Beit, Gimel, Dalet.
No.
Now, I'm not thinking about the form of Aleph, I'm thinking about what Aleph means.
How can I think about what Aleph means without Aleph?
Because you're thinking about chokhmah and you're thinking about the ishtalshlus. You're not thinking about the aleph itself. You're just thinking about the idea of what it is.
So that's
bria, which is machshava b'shem machshava. Okay. Vehen otio. Now listen to this. Vehine otiot hadibur mamish hem mitavot umekablot chiyutan ve'otiot elu atzma shemachshava. The letters of speech that you think about in your head receive their life force from the idea itself, which is the thought within the thought. Okay? Now, afshel famim medaber adam. Sometimes you see a person speaks and thinks about something else. What do you mean? If they get their life force from the thought itself, how could you be separating the two? You could only think, the only reason why you can do that is because you could speak about something if you already thought about it before. Okay, which means if it was something new, then you cannot say it without thinking about it. Okay? It was in your thought multiple times. Many times, so these words or these thoughts that you had created an impression on your thought because you thought about it a lot of times. And this is the achoraim of the chitzonis of nehi shebepartu fa'elyon that goes into the tachton to be the moichin of the chayus.
That's a big sentence.
Yeah, that was the hardest part of the thing. We didn't explain. That's the end of.
Can you say it?
Okay, the end is this is the achoraim and the chitzonius of nehi from the partzufa elyon that enters into the tachton to be the moichin and the chayus. Okay, what does that mean?
What's this?
It means that whatever is being thought about a lot in the higher realms, that is making an impression on the bina, and then from the bina, that strong impression that's being made, that's drawing down into the zayin tachtonim, which is the chayus of the zayin tachtonim, which is the chokhmah within there that's giving life to the zayin tachtonim, and that's what Moshe Rabbeinu was able to grasp at Pnimius.
Why did you say Pnimius?
Because it says that he got the Pnimius of Nehim. And in there, and in there was the Chitzonius of Chokhmah that went into Bina, that went into the Zah and the Malchus. Nehi is there?
Part of it.
Oh, Nehi? No, it's all. Yeah, it's all.
Dalit Tachtonim.
So yeah, the four. Yeah, the lower four. He was able to get Pnimius, but not even the higher three. He didn't get Pnimius the higher three. He got the higher four.